What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the Spectator Mode Podcast. And this is actually episode 169. I messed up last week and called it 170, and I was completely wrong. But that's what happens when you get old. You forget stuff. But nobody else corrected me, so you guys are just as bad as I am. As always, we're here to talk about games, technology, geek culture, and probably a bit more. So let me introduce the cast. So we got the guy in the silly hat. That's Karl. He's acting weird. It's the totally silly hat. What does it say? I'm here for what?
Tacos.
I'm here for tacos.
See, like I said, it's weird because if it was serious hat, I'd be here for the pizza. I knew it was a Final Fantasy hat.
Yeah.
How come yours is blue and ours was yellow?
It's the same with the hoodie. I guess it's regional.
But you have a yellow hoodie and I have a blue hoodie. Did they take the wrong hats to the wrong places?
No.
Anyway, we got my buddy here, Scott. He's
Howdy.
an RPG enthusiast. And then Sean, who has not been here in quite some time, is making an appearance. What's up, Sean?
Hey, what's up, everybody?
So you're showing off your stuff that you can't wear because it's getting to be summer, and walk outside with that and see how hot you get.
I would drop dead.
Wait for that. All right, guys, we got a lot to get through. There'll be a lot of controversial stuff here that I will probably not be talking because
Keith doesn't do controversy anymore. He's a peaceful person.
No, I'm trying to watch my blood pressure.
Yes. Yeah, you can watch it go up. You can watch it go down. Watch it go up.
Yeah, that's totally what I don't.
Another problem of when you get old.
I mean, some people have to worry about it when they're younger. So I'm trying to stay alive. I'm losing more weight. I'm working on my stress. I'm trying not to kill people and punch holes in the walls. All that cool stuff. But let's talk about the games that we played in or shows that we watched. And since I don't have a lot, I'm going to go first. And games that we played, of course, we've still been playing a lot of Metaphor, Re Fantasio. I'm trying to beat the game, so I don't have to play anything else until then. I got about 50 hours in. The game's about 80-ish.
Yeah, give or take.
So we'll see. I should be done in a couple of days.
So you finally at the part where it gets good.
I don't know.
That's 10 hours in.
I feel like
only 10 hours. Wow.
I feel like it's getting worse now. It's just throwing random things at me. I seen some people complain about the story, and I can see what they're talking about. But I'm playing a lot of that. I'm also playing New World 8th. I can't pronounce his name.
Eternum.
It's just spelled weird. I did a review for the Outer Haven. I finally put the actual full review live. It didn't change anything. Being able to play in the expeditions didn't change anything. It's still a solid MMO. You don't have to pay for it. It's on consoles. My thing is, I'm not sure how long I'm going to keep playing it because, again, I said the words MMO. Me and MMOs, we're not friends anymore. So we'll keep it that way. I do want to say I've seen a lot of people talking about Diablo 4. I did like playing the beta. I might jump into that. I'm not 100% sure yet. We'll see. And, of course, shows. There's been a lot of shows I've been watching. A lot of them have been the shows that my wife wants to watch, so they don't count. But Gundam Requiem for Vengeance finally came out on Netflix. It is a fantastic 6-episode series featuring Gundam, the Fetties, and the Xeon. And I'm going to spoil it for you. The Gundam is the bad guy.
Ooh.
It's so cool the way they make the Gundam be the bad guy and how it's menacing the Xeon forces. And they're like, I need to get away from the Gundam. And the Gundam's like, well.
So they turned it into a horror story with Gundam as the monster.
It's pretty much.
They just turned it into the usual thing that they do with it, most Netflix show, the misunderstood villain trope.
Oh no, he's misunderstood. He
wants to be the misunderstood.
No. I mean by that they've swapped the hero and villain roles.
It's interesting. I wouldn't say hero and villain roles. I would say more of a villain and reluctant
anti-hero. No,
yeah, pretty much anti-hero. It's pretty much what it is. The hero and anti-hero.
It's establishment versus anti-establishment.
Yeah.
Again, another.
But the funny thing is, if you're a fan of Gundam and you know this series of Gundam, the Xeon, by definition, are bad guys. Because all the stuff they've done, and then how they dropped the colony on Earth, and they use gas to kill people and their own people and an entire colony, all the bad stuff that they've done. And now they're like, well, holy shit, the Gundam's coming after us. We need to run. So do you cheer for the bad guys or now the anti-hero or what do you do here? So it's interesting. But yeah, and of course, again, a lot of metaphor has been on the Rogue Ally, which now has Bazlight on it. So it's been fun. All right, Scott, since you're the guest, you get to go. What you got, man? What you been watching? What you been playing?
I think you meant Sean, not Scott.
I'm sorry, Sean.
Scott's not a guest. He's here all
You
the
have to
time.
get old. You have to get old. You get crazy.
All right, take two.
Maybe I should become the president.
No, you got to work at McDonald's first. Or pretend to work at
I
McDonald's
like
first.
Wendy's better.
Agree on that.
Never had it.
I've been playing Neva, which is the newest game from the same studio that made Gree, Nomada, or Devolver Digital Joint. Those folks don't miss over there on the publishing side, pretty much. And man, this game is, I have to say, it's pretty much at the same level or maybe even better than Gree was because it has combat and having these extra character that's also an animal just makes it to where you just feel so much more for both of those characters. Whereas obviously Gree had its own narrative-ish thing of where you feel so sad for that character the whole time. But having both the characters and then just the beautiful backgrounds that change as the seasons go through, it's like one of those games where like I'm constantly pressing the picture button constantly, like all the time, because there's something new that I want to have like a picture of when I'm done with it. It's a really good game. It's $20. It's about 5 hours long. If you need something to like, you've been playing Metaphor or you've been playing something else that's really long, like Scott. It's a great palate cleanser, and I really enjoy the fact that like sometimes you just have those games that are just, this is art, man. You can't tell me video games aren't art after you play this game.
I've seen a lot of people talk about this game, and I was going to pick it up, so maybe I will. After Metaphor. I have to beat Metaphor.
And then play it again and again. And
No.
Metaphor, I don't think is going to be one of those you want to replay as much.
It's Keith.
No.
He picks one game, sticks with it for a year and a half, and then eventually we got to do an intervention to get him off the damn thing.
No. I
It's
kind
not
of really
Elden Ring.
like it, but I want to be done with this game. I just want to get to the end. You don't really do that much with turn-based RPGs. You beat them and you go, all right, I'm done. I don't want to go back. Unless you're Scott. Speaking of Scott, he's probably going to tell us about some RPGs, aren't you? Aren't you?
I'll save the RPG for the last thing I mentioned because I have a lot I want to talk about that one specifically. But obviously I've been still playing Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. I've been now playing it a lot more with my friends, especially those in like my old Dragon Ball group chats. Now that they have the copy, so I get to experience playing with them, and some of them like to use cheese strats, obviously, and some actually just, one of my friends that I love to actually play like the Raging Blast game with back when that was on the PS3, we've just been duking it out like literally for 3 hours. Doing single battles.
Who's using the overpowered team of Chiatsu and Yajirobe?
I was going to ask who's using Yajirobe. Who is it?
Not me. It's not. I honestly don't think it's all that fun to fight against the cheese strats. As much as people are like, yeah, just get good. It's just like there's getting good, and there's just getting good at a specific strategy to counter another specific strategy.
Can you play Whis?
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
Whis is in the game, and he's kind of broken in the sense that he just auto dodges if he's just not doing anything, which is kind of great.
You're not supposed to touch Whis. He's just...
Exactly. He auto dodges literally everything but like ultimates when he just stands still. So you can't like
think about it. Whis is pretty much Ultra Instinct all the time.
Yep,
that is what he is.
Yep. But yeah, so Sparking Zero is still great. Still really fun to play. And still recommend it to those who are fans of the Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi series, or if you're someone who likes the art of Raging Blast but did not like how it played. Because that's basically, Sparking Zero has like the best elements of Raging Blast, which is just like the animations and how great they looked in Raging Blast, but also the gameplay of the Budokai Tenkaichi series that was just addicting to play. The other game I've been playing is Sword Art Online Fractured Daydream. So this is a game that I initially was very hesitant on, and as I played more of like the betas and demos, I got a lot more positive on. But now that I have the game, it's even more positive because the full game has actually like a story experience that explains why all the characters are where they are, why you have literally like everybody randomly showing up in the world. You also get to have added elements of finding cosmetics throughout the story mode, so it's not just endlessly grinding for the sake of grinding like some other of like the online type games. So you actually have unlockables in just the story elements and the story modes of the game that you can just actually play through, which I wasn't expecting because the way that the trailers initially showed this off had like no single player elements whatsoever, just to realize like half the game is single player. So that made me very excited to get to more of. So I'm unlocking a lot more characters and weapons, and I'm unlocking as many of the cosmetics as I can through the story. I'm still only on like chapter 3 though, so hopefully I can get more of the characters because I'm only like 3/4 of them unlocked. And the final game, the one that I'm really most excited about, is Romancing Saga 2: Revenge of the Seven. So I was able to do one full playthrough of it, and I already want to do a second full playthrough of it.
See, that's Scott. You're confusing me with Scott. When I play an RPG, I want to be done. If it's Dark Souls, Elden Ring, Bloodborne, Demon Souls, or another action RPG, then yes. Turn-based RPGs, no. Unless it's Final Fantasy Tactics, then yes.
So Romancing Saga 2, I think, has always been one of the best Saga games in terms of its story and direction. It has taken how Saga is a very, what I'd call a non-linear story, in the sense that everything that you do is or everything that happens in the game is based on how you do something. And for Romancing Saga 2, where they basically have generations of years to go by throughout the game, because every like 3 or 4 levels or like dungeons you do, it does another time skip of like 100 or so years. And then with whatever you did in those dungeons or the actions that you took changes the entire world system. And so every 200 years, you get to see the impacts of what your decisions have made the world. And that's one of the reasons why I do a second playthrough, is to see like what changes if I did a different task or a different action throughout the game. And they also, in Romancing Saga, have a very complex mechanics and mechanisms that gleam off of what's known as a glimmer system. A glimmer system basically is an RNG system of how you learn different skills based on how often you use weapons.
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, so
It also sounds like another game I've played before. It definitely seems familiar. Neo did that.
Neo. Oh, okay. Yeah. So whatever weapon you use, the more you use it, the more talented your person gets at using that weapon. And the more talented they get at the weapon increases the damage they deal, as well as the repertoire of skills that are available. But for you to learn skills, it requires you to basically utilize normal basic attacks, to have a random chance to glimmer a new skill. So it's one of those like high risk, high reward stations where you have to forego some of your like, say, weaker skills in order to learn even stronger skills by just using normal basic attacks. Or if you just want to do quick encounters because you just want to get like the level up, which level ups don't really occur the same way, because level ups basically happen by your HP and BP, which is just like your health and your battle points system. Every time you take damage, and if you survive, you get experience points into your health. Every time you get enough experience points, your HP will then just level up. You get more experience, you get more health, and the more you use skills, you get more what's known as battle points. And every time that happens, you get more battle points. And so basically, everything you do in this game is how you level up your skills or abilities or your weapon system. And any person basically can learn any weapon. It's just some people are more attuned to them. So like if you are a ninja, you are more attuned to learning with like katanas, or well, they're called katanas, but they're more just like smaller ninja short swords that look similar to katanas, which is funny because they're in the great sword element. So it's interesting. But basically they have higher affinity to that as well as just normal martial arts abilities. And honestly, martial arts is kind of busted once you actually master it, because you can learn so many abilities, and your martial arts performance is also tied to your person's strength stat as well as their skill with martial arts. So when they get more strength and more skill in their martial arts, they get very busted, because then they can learn some super ridiculous moves, where I eventually started getting like my ninja was able to one-shot mostly everything, which is awesome. But basically, Romancing Saga 2 changes for every person just because it basically reacts to everything you do in the world. How you defeat enemies if you choose to let them off. And the entire story premise of just having it be the original 7 heroes of the world turned evil. And you just have it to make a whole empire to basically take them down. Is kind of just like almost like a reverse role, because usually you're the heroes taking down the evil empire. Instead, you're the good empire taking down the evil heroes. So, anyways, they did a lot of structuring of Romancing Saga compared to the other Saga games to make it beginner friendly in the sense of learning the game. It's still tough as nails if you don't learn the game, but they make it a lot easier for you to learn the mechanics and how to actually deal with, well, enemies and bosses. And once you learn how to do that, it becomes a lot more fun and satisfying to actually beat bosses, because it's not longer really tied to your skill or tied to your level as much as it's tied to your skill in the game, which is honestly really fun and satisfying. And honestly, I'd recommend the Romancing Saga 2 Revenge of the Seven to basically anybody who wants to get into the Saga series, or anyone who just wants to have a really good turn-based RPG that actually reacts to every single thing you do in the world.
Or is it metaphor?
If you want metaphor, you can, but metaphor is like 90 hours, 80 hours. Romancing Saga took me about 25 hours.
It's a bit too long.
Much better there.
25 to 30 hours, or if you're someone who's like wants to do a lot more grinding, maybe like a 40-hour run. But I'm going to try to do my second run, probably be a lot faster, maybe like 20 hours, just so I can see like what changes can actually occur if I decide, hey, I don't want to save these miners. I want to continue to go to save the hunters instead.
Fair enough. All right, so it wasn't 20 minutes. I'm always counting to see how long we do this. Every time I check to do this. So we're gonna move along to the first.
We gotta wait for Karl to give what he played.
But no, he didn't play anything. He told me he didn't play anything.
That was last time. That was last week.
Okay, fine.
This time I've played and watched a lot of things. I've actually had time to do this time around. I'll just quickly run down things that I watched. Last night I introduced the wife to the 2004 very terribly animated CGI movie called Hoodwinked. Anybody who's ever seen that, the fairy tale creatures, basically explaining the story of Little Red Riding Hood while also having a sort of a thief mystery going on around it as well. It's a good movie, very well written. A lot of good actors in
really
that.
Funny.
in that movie, really funny. Definitely worth a watch if you can sort of get past the 2004 animation that
very
is basically
bad
on
CGI, but
which is on pretty much on par with things like Reboot. Reboot and Beast Wars. That
original reboot.
The original reboot. No, the other one doesn't exist, Keith. We don't acknowledge the other one ever. Other things I've been watching Agatha All Along, which has been a surprisingly decent show.
Yeah.
This is one of those ones where I will say don't listen to all the hate mongers and don't watch this because Disney up Marvel commenters on YouTube that like to go out of their way to try and make everything look like shit to increase their own viewer count. It's actually been a really good show. Well worth a watch. And then anime wise, I've just finished watching VTuber Legend, How I Went Viral After Forgetting to Turn Off My Stream, which is a very interesting look at the life of VTubers. It is very... Yeah, I'm just going to leave it at interesting. just to put it there. It's worth a watch. It's on Crunchyroll. It's got a English dub as well if you want to watch that as well.
Could you be a VTuber?
I would like to be, but I don't have the thousands of dollars required to get a model designed, rigged, and everything else. A friend of mine, he's just spent $1,500 on getting a model designed and the rigging done and
Jesus
everything else.
Christ.
He's still got more that he needs to do before he's actually going to debut it. I'm not going to say who because he's keeping it all a secret at the moment. But he's been showing me the updates and everything, and man, like he's had to spend a lot to get this up and running. And I don't have that money because I don't have a job at the moment. Because Keith doesn't pay anybody on the site.
Wow. There goes the bus.
Wow.
Runs my ass over. Thank you.
Beep, beep, get under the bus. And I've only just started watching. I finished the first episode this morning of Dragon Ball Daima, the new Dragon Ball series. Loving the animation on that. Like, oh, so crisp. Interesting that they're telling a story between Z and Super.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of references to Boo in the opening parts and all that. So it's going to be interesting to see how this one develops. I would have preferred that they kept going with Super, but
Yeah.
of course, with Akira Toriyama's passing, we don't know what's going to be happening with Super at this particular point in time. Mind you, I would love to see them animate the Moro arc and all of that. Like, the manga,
Moro and Granola.
if you haven't read part, or if you've only watched up to the Tournament of Power in Dragon Ball Super, jump into the manga.
Yeah,
Like,
please do.
Jump into the manga, like, because the stories
crazy.
are upcoming are brilliant, and I can't wait to see. Even with Toriyama's passing, I can't wait to see what they do with Frieza Black.
Yes.
Oh, it's
some
handled.
point,
I'm not
like,
worried about it. He made sure the series was in good hands.
Oh yeah, he had this stuff planned out for many years ahead and everything. Like he's smart enough to do that. Keeping it on Dragon Ball, I'm like Scott. I've been playing Dragon Ball Sparking Zero because if you're not playing that, well, then you're not playing video games at this point in time. So,
I'm playing Metaphor. Damn you! Thank you.
well, put down Metaphor, get Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, and join the rest of the conversation.
No,
Butters.
I want to go online and get jobbed by Yajirobe.
I haven't played the online yet, so
there's too much to do offline.
Yeah, well, that's it. Like, I'm only just starting. I've been playing through Goku's story. I'm only up to the Buu saga. Like, I didn't have much time to play yet.
Yeah,
but I've been into, like, I did a couple of the split lines, the sparking episodes via the during the Cell saga. So I'm interested to see the other things. But that was also my main complaint with that mode is that you don't get any hints on how to unlock.
Yeah, you
some of the side
basically
stuff.
have to finish the thing and then go back, and then you have to go to the objectives once you press the start button.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a hassle.
It is. Oh, Doggo. Hello, Doggo. Sean's got a co-host. Other than that, I played for review the other day Squirrel with a gun.
Yeah.
Squirrel indeed has a gun.
Yeah.
And a shotgun, grenade launcher, bazooka. Squirrel gets a lot of ammunition, man. Like, that's definitely an American squirrel. Very
we'll
fun
have
game.
The Call of Duty collab.
Man, if they put the Squirrel with a gun in Call of Duty, I will actually probably go back to play Call of Duty just to play as a squirrel because the executions would be hilarious. But the game gives off a lot of almost Goat Simulator style vibes with it. Like, it's very open world. You can interact with a lot of things. It's basically designed for you to go out there and explore
and have fun.
And yeah, just have fun, cause chaos, destroy anything and everything you can get your hands on. It's pretty cool. I've also been playing TCG Shop Simulator from that recent simulation series. I do have it modded to the absolute so it's like I got the obvious Pokemon mod that everybody's been playing on it. I've got like auto stack shelves, auto rebuy inventory, card only transactions because I can't be sitting there counting out cash in modern era. But I've been having a lot of fun with that. I enjoy those games for the simplistic things that they are, and they're just that sit back and chill type game. So I recommend anybody, if you have a chance, go get it. if you are going to get some mods for it. Like the base game has like a generic Pokemon TCG thing added into it, but you can get like swap out the art for actual Pokemon mods, Magic the Gathering, Dragon Ball, stuff like that. So if you ever wanted to run your own themed card shop, you can do it. And lastly, I started this again. It's one of those ones that my wife has been like, I want to watch you play this, so you're not allowed to play it unless I'm watching. And I'm like,
Oh, one of those games,
those
huh?
are
I hate those.
yeah, Silent Hill 2 remake.
Okay, yeah.
I want to dive into this thing head first and just really smash it out. But no, I gotta wait until the wife has finished work and she wants to watch me play it. So I'm slowly making my way through that. Like I've only gotten like story wise, I've only just arrived in Silent Hill and finished the bar puzzle where you've got to refix the record in the jukebox. That's about as far as I've gotten. I haven't even really scratched the surface of that game yet because my wife wants to make sure that she's watching when I play it. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I've been busy this week.
He's been
almost as busy as Scott.
Busy squirrel. Not a beaver. Busy squirrel.
Yeah, and it seems like I got more to do, don't I, Keith? Yeah, I believe the Shadows of the Damned Hella Remastered is.
Hey, you asked. I was like, anybody want this? He was like, I'll take it. I'm like, all right, here you go.
I'll take it if nobody else takes it. Nobody else took it, so I got it.
I don't want to be disrespectful to the people to say, hey, do you want this game? No, I'm sorry. They didn't ask. Let me take that back. I love you guys, but they were like, no, just here. Here's a code. Here. And it's like, we got stuff to do. No, goddamn, Keith. You know, we start getting at the website's name and a couple of accolade trailers and images, and no Dragon Age.
We put in some work, and you know, to start talking to all those PR people, and all of a sudden it starts paying off, and we become popular. And
where's that Call of Duty?
It's such a trouble.
Call of Duty. Where is it?
An embarrassment of riches is what we have at the moment here.
We got to give out these reviews that are fake because we're getting paid, and when we release these reviews, we got to release the entire playthrough.
Yeah,
the metaphor.
So that metaphor 90-hour gameplay is going to be absolutely brilliant for the YouTube channel. There, Keith.
Yeah,
garbage playthrough. How many times you rewind this fight? As many times as I need it. I gotta say something real quick about that. I love that option that is in the game or the feature. So if you get your butt kicked and all of a sudden you're like, you know what? Let me just redo this fight. And then sometimes you redo the fight and you hope that the outcome is different. Because sometimes the enemy hits you and you go, all right, you're dead. And sometimes they go, either you dodged it or it wasn't as strong. So whoever thought of that feature, thank you. I love it.
There should always be a rewind feature in all.
And it's so
RPG
fast. It's like
games.
It's like you want to redo it and it's like done.
Yeah. Yeah, unlike Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, it's like, hey, lose to Frieza. Here's a cutscene of him laughing at you before you get the retry screen.
But it's Frieza.
Again,
who doesn't enjoy Frieza laughing at you?
And after like the third time, it's just like, are you sure you don't want to lower the difficulty and retry it now?
Oh, really?
Yeah,
it does that too.
It actively suggests that, hey, you've been getting your ass kicked too much. Would you like to lower?
You haven't been able to beat the guy.
It's like, I'm already on easy, okay? No, I've been playing it on normal. And by the way, last thing on Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, and then we'll move on to our topics for the evening, since we're nearly at half an hour. Those people who had trouble with the Vegeta Ozaru fight, the Grade 8 fight, get good.
Oh no!
Like seriously, how could you not work out how to cheese that in like 10 seconds?
They don't
As
play
Goku,
Dragon Ball
spam
games.
Kamea.
They don't watch Dragon
Spam
Ball.
Kamea. That's all you gotta do.
You watch
duck
Team
back,
Four-Star and you
charge
just
up, spam
dodge.
Kamea, spam Kamea, spam Kamea, charge up, spam Kamea. And that's it. That's the entire fight. I had it done in like 3 minutes, and I went, that was the hardest. This is the one that got people to rage quit? Like, seriously, get good.
Oh no!
Get good.
See, there he goes. The get good. There he goes.
There's nothing wrong. Get good. If you can't beat the game, get good.
Oh man,
it's a skill.
I remember when people told me to stop saying that. I was like, all right, whatever. All right, move on. I need you to get good on this next topic. Let's go.
30 minutes. Let's start it. All right. For those people who haven't really been following the tech news and the social media news and everything else that's been going on at present, guess what?
Hell's breaking
Elon's
loose.
up.
No.
It's
And
that
he's
picture of
he-
the
he-
room
When
on
is he
fire.
not?
Well, that's it. That's the thing. And people have finally started to clue in and realize that Twitter is no longer the place that it used to be. It is now one of those places that has very much become you have your echo chamber bubbles.
Toxic cesspool. Of
Very,
retarded
very
people.
toxic. And either side, I don't care whether you're right or left or Democrat, Republican, whatever you are. If you put yourself into an echo chamber, you are the problem. You are the toxic person.
But I said I was sorry.
You're toxic for 1,000,001 different reasons, Keith. Let's not get into those on this podcast.
But
We
I
don't have
said I was
that much
sorry.
time. But people have started realizing, especially after the announcement that the block feature on X no longer actually blocks anything. Really,
I wanted. So
There you go.
you're playing a fighting game and you block, but it's not really blocking. You're getting punched in the face repeatedly. I'm blocking though. Sure.
Yeah, basically, the announcement came out that the block feature will stop people that you have blocked from replying, liking, or retweeting or reposting your posts, but they can still see them.
Yeah, they
And-
just basically turned block into mute. So now we just
Essentially.
have two mute buttons.
Yeah, essentially, it's mute, and this is terrible for people who have stalkers on the platform, and there are plenty of those type of people out there.
Oh yeah.
Yes, there are.
That they can they'll just keep continuing to follow these people's posts, and if there's things such as we call them AVOs, but like what would the American equivalent be? Basically, no contact. You're not allowed to go near this person, or restraining order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guess what? That doesn't apply on X now. Essentially. So that turned a lot of people off the platform. And the funny thing is, if you don't want to do that, like if you want to accept their new block system, their new mute button, the only way that you can stop it from happening is to go into your settings and private your account, which means only people who follow you will see your posts. So say if we block somebody personally, we then either have the option of letting that person still see our posts and follow and do whatever, watch our or we can close off account completely, like privatize it, so nobody sees it except those following us, meaning that for guys like us who retweet stuff for the Outer Haven or anything else, we lose our ability to have engagement with the public.
Yep.
That's your two options. It's either you let the stalkers win, or you lose your ability to engage with the public at all. You lose all discoverability when you put your account to private.
It's basically going to create even more echo chambers in Twitter than there already is.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Or they'll somehow force you to have to pay for premium if you want the regular block. But
Yeah, more
I
Twitter
would not
blue
be. I would
nonsense.
not be surprised. I would not be surprised, to be honest. The other thing has been, as it is now becoming very popular on the internet via many companies, there has been a change to the terms of service of Twitter or X. I keep calling it Twitter. It's X, whatever Elon's ego machine.
you're right about that.
Yeah, no. Basically, they've been changed to the terms and conditions of everything that if you post your art or photos or anything image-wise onto the platform, you give them an exclusive non-blah, blah, blah license to basically take your and use it to train their AI systems. And they can do whatever they like with it, and you don't get $1. So for all the artists out there who are trying to, promote their Etsy stores or their Artist Alley stuff at conventions, they can't post any of the photos of their stuff, or else it'll get scraped by X's AI learning systems, so it can be fed into these AI image programs that are becoming an extreme nuisance on the internet now. So a lot of people, a lot of artists, a lot of other people, a lot of people in the gaming industry, in the gaming spaces, everybody has all of a sudden just decided to just finally go over to BlueSky.
Blue skies.
And for those who don't know what BlueSky is, it is basically Twitter back in the old days.
Back before Elon was over.
Back before Elon was in control.
When Jack was running a show.
People are a lot nicer for the most part on there. People have found, I know a guy who on Twitch goes by Pirate Software. He's found that his engagement, even with a lower follower count, has been higher on BlueSky than it is on the exact same post that he posted on X. So your discoverability and everything else is a lot higher on BlueSky right now than it is going to be on X.
It does take a while for it to kick up, but
it does.
Yeah,
it takes a little bit for anything to kick up. But
but it's been good over there.
Yeah, there are programs or add-ons for Firefox and Chrome I know of. One's called Sky Follower Bridge. Is if you use that on your follower list, it'll go through and see if there's similar accounts on BlueSky that you can just automatically follow. Makes the transfer a lot easier.
Did you know that after all these changes on Twitter that they started charging you for TweetDeck?
Yeah.
I was like, are you kidding me?
Yep. They bought TweetDeck and they turned it into a premium service. It's ridiculous. This is pretty much the downfall of that social media platform. I hope that people, I believe all four of us here on the panel this evening, we all have BlueSky accounts. Yeah. Which, Keith has completely decided Twitter as of tomorrow. He's done with it. But hopefully he does like people have suggested and just leaves it as a link to his BlueSky.
Yeah, that's exactly what
so people can find him over there. The Outer Haven has a BlueSky account as well, which we would encourage people to follow.
Please,
basically, if you follow any of us on social media, especially on X, I believe we all have the exact same usernames on BlueSky.
Mm-hmm.
So just jump on BlueSky, type in our username as it is on X, and follow us on there because that's where a lot of us are going to be posting more from now on. I'm starting to get a bit more active on there because I'm done with X. I'm done with the stupidity that's on there. And all the changes that have come through, it's just the platform is just Elon. God only knows what's going on with that guy.
He's turned that into his own political system for agenda, and that is literally it. That is,
and I hope he goes to jail for the other things he's been doing, but that's a different topic for a different style of podcast. But yeah, basically, this has just been to let people know that like Twitter is dying, BlueSky's on the rise.
I think the main reasons why a lot of us 9 million. Last time they
got so many that it actually almost broke their servers in one day,
which is good.
Yeah, they're getting to the point where they've had to put in more infrastructure to support the influx of people going from X to BlueSky. So.
I wonder if they're
if you you want out of your new job already, Keith?
Oh my god! Yes. Oh my god!
But yeah, so Yeah, the Outer Haven. Don't follow Outer Haven because somebody already took that.
Yeah.
That's not us. If you type in the Outer Haven at like .bluesky.app or whatever
that's the one thing I hate about BlueSky is if it will. I don't say truncate. It will find you if you just put like at the Outer Haven, but I hate that it's at the Outer Haven .bluesky.social. I hate that.
Yeah, but look, it's the way it is. I'm sure they'll improve that over time.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll add an option where you can change things.
Yeah, I think Pirate Software's his one is like Pirate Software.live. So there's obviously something that you can connect to or a service that you can use to like shorten it to something different.
And don't sell.
Yeah, don't. I hope BlueSky doesn't turn around and go, "Hey, we're going to sell." Especially if they go, "Hey, we're going to sell to Elon Musk." We're just all going to.
Oh yeah, let's just do that all over again.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I still say all this is happening because we've forsaken Tom. We should never have left MySpace. We should never have left MySpace.
Tom's still living his best life.
Oh, indeed, he got plenty of money out of that deal. But yeah, just follow all of us on BlueSky. If you're into listening to our weird and wonderful takes, Keith is praising technology and software on there at the moment. I'm just trying to establish more than 20 people. Scott's talking RPGs, and Sean. No, I don't know if you've even posted on there yet, man. I got you on follow, but I don't know if you've actually posted anything there yet.
Got to get that Souls-like loving going on there.
Yep. Get good on social media. So Keith, I know you've got something that you want to start at 42 minutes.
Wait, what? What do I want to do?
Something to do with your shirt.
Oh, you mean my shirt? Oh, wait, I gotta fix this first of all before you. So yes, you can see this shirt. It is Alien.
Kitty.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, I am a big fan of Alien Isolation. It was one of my favorite games. 10 years ago, maybe a little longer than that. And I played the DLC, which should have been part of the game. And I always felt that
Alien Isolation 10 years ago, October 6th, 2014.
And I always felt that the DLC was leading to something else. So you played the game, played DLC, it basically hinted that there was another game coming, except there wasn't another game that came. But a couple weeks ago, they finally announced that they are working to a sequel to Alien Isolation. 10 years later. We don't know much about the game, but the fact that they're finally announcing this after all this time is amazing. And this is actually true follow-up, not that piece of crap game they announced a while ago that ended up being some kind of mobile game that it was so atrocious that they disavowed it and was like, it doesn't exist. They don't sell it anymore. You can't find it anymore. It was bad. This is going to be legit. And they are bringing back, hopefully, the same drive and ambition they had when they made Alien Isolation. The sad part is a lot of people who worked at Creative Assembly are not there anymore. So the original team is not there, which really sucks. So I really hope that whoever they bring on board, because they're hiring for this, can do what the original team did. And there's not really much to say other than the fact that there is actually a sequel. And I am so happy. I'm so happy about this. This is a game I would play at night in the dark downstairs with my wife, and she would always jump because the alien and that jump scare was just, the alien was so great because they programmed the alien to be super annoying and to find you if you made any stupid mistake. But it wasn't just the alien, it was the average Joes, which were those the synthoids that would always follow you around and like, can I help you? And then they would proceed to bash you in the head, and other humans who eventually found their way in towards the game, which I'm not going to spoil a lot of the game because I know a lot of people still haven't played this and they're actually buying the game now, which I don't understand because the sequel got announced. You should have been playing the game before.
That's not why I'm currently on Steam looking up how much it is.
It's usually cheaper when the sequel comes
even
out.
On the Switch. They even got this game on the Switch now. I don't know how it plays. But
Probably
as
like
I always say,
slideshow.
I don't recommend playing it on the Switch just for my hatred for the Nintendo Switch.
$60 off.
Is it seriously $60?
60 Australian
Damn.
dollars.
No way.
Jeez.
60
Jeez,
Australian dollars
jeez.
for Alien Isolation. I'm sure I can find that cheaper somewhere.
Most
Wow,
likely.
it is $40 still. Why is it still expensive?
Because the sequel's coming out and they know there's profit to be made.
But they didn't raise the price, but right now
They
this
didn't
game is
raise the
sitting
price, but they didn't exactly discount it either.
this game is sitting on Steam with 41,000 very positive. I don't think there's been a lot of people who hate this game other than the scandal over at IGN. I don't know why they didn't like the game. It replicated the entirety of the Alien movie. Everything, the environments, everything.
$26 for the collection on GOG. Otherwise, $60 just for the standard edition.
I think I'm going to go and replay the game, to be honest. It's been a very long time. Let me see. When's the last time I played this game? Last time I played this game was June 8th, 2020. But I played the game for 48 hours.
You put a lot of time into it then.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I love this game. I think I'm going to play it again. But I spent a lot of time dying because, like I said, the alien would he would hear you run and then it would chase you into a room and you either hide in the closet or you would hide under the table.
See, that's better.
What?
Sorry. Alien Isolation, Epic Games Store, $15 Australian.
Oh, that's much cheaper.
That's better.
Now
That's
go
what
play.
I like
Wait,
to see.
wait, you're telling me you've never played this,
I haven't played it.
and you call yourself an Alien fan.
No, I didn't. At no point have I called myself an Alien fan.
I could have swore
I
we had
enjoy the
conversations.
movies, but I'm not exactly a massive fan of them. I haven't seen things like Prometheus and all that other modern shit.
Okay, well, You don't need to watch-
Aliens 3, and that's where the series ends for me.
you don't need to watch Covenant. It's okay, but you
No.
need to watch Romulus. You gotta go watch that.
So I've heard. I have the ability to watch. So
You should watch it.
again, it's one of those ones that the wife also wants to check out. So
There you go. Watch it at night. Close.
see,
the
my
windows,
wife likes the scary.
cover the windows, everything. Just make it as dark as possible and just watch it.
Oh, and I realized that as I look at my Epic Games Store, I already have the game in there.
Hey, you haven't played it. What's going on?
I don't know. I think it was one of those ones I picked up when it was on the
I was gonna say,
free
You
thing.
probably picked it up free. I'm guessing I might have that
Yeah.
same thing.
Actually, I think they did give that game out free.
Epic Games Store, like as much as I love it, they just give away so many really good games for free that you
You mean
forget
much
that
as
you
you
have
hate it?
them.
You mean much as you hate it? You said
Well,
much as
because
love it.
because I forget what's on there, and some like then I'll
Yeah.
go onto like Steam because I'm used to using Steam as my main PC
Yeah.
buying hub. That I forget I have it on the Epic Games Store. That I probably got it for free.
And
so
if you
I end
don't
up
have it-
buying stuff.
If you don't have it, Alien Isolation is on Epic Game Store for $10.
Yeah, it's really cheap.
There
on
you go.
Go get it.
Yeah.
Please go get it.
I have it on Epic Games too.
If you like great sci-fi games with a lot of tense and a little bit of action because it makes you think, because you don't walk in with a gun and just kill everything. Whatever ammo and weapons you find is very scarce, which makes you think. And the Alien does not play. They said they programmed this thing to be the ultimate pain in the butt predator.
It has one of the most aggressive AIs in gaming.
Yes. I love it. Go play it. I'm not gonna geek out about this anymore. Just go play it, okay? Okay. But what I am gonna geek out about is that Spider-Man 2 is making its way to the PC. It's coming to the PC, folks, and
Yes.
you've seen the great Carl's like, you've seen the
No,
great job
there's a reason for it.
with that.
But go ahead. You start out with the positives, and then I'll follow up with the negative.
Okay, so Spider-Man 2 is heading to the PC, and this will follow the trend with Spider-Man Remastered and Spider-Man Miles Morales with all the great features that are going to be in the PC. Nixis is going to do a great job yet again, and I'm looking forward to actually playing it again on the PC. I played it on PlayStation, but I want to play it on a PC that can run the game at a hopefully optimized experience.
And white.
If not, if not, the modding scene will fix it,
Yes.
and
and then create a million
yeah.
and one goddamn crazy mods for it.
And I'm really hoping that PlayStation re-releases the Spider-Man DualSense controller, because that would be nice if they did. It would be amazing. All right, here's Spider-Man.
It'd be nice, but then they're not catering to the god of FOMO.
So we got that. Of course, yet again, this happens. This is not going to go away, folks. This will be yet another game that requires the PlayStation Network. This is going to continue. They want to be able to track their games. They want to see how well their games does on the PC, which unfortunately locks a lot of people out because PlayStation Network is not in all regions. They've yet to fix this issue for some dumb reason.
If you want to be a little more universal in your sales, you should probably be a little more universal in your features.
Yes, very much so. So I hate the fact that this yet another game's coming out from PlayStation that people who want to buy the game can't buy the game. But that's okay because it'll get pirated because PlayStation is being dumb. And you lose a lot of money because you're being dumb. So how about you stop being dumb and do what you're supposed to do? Xbox does it. You're copying everything Xbox is doing already. You might as well do this. Come on. All right, Karl, what's the negative? What we got?
The negative is that something that was announced alongside the Spider-Man 2 heading to PC is that there is going to be no additional content moving forward with the game.
Yeah.
Anyone who played the original Spider-Man knows that there was the 3-part DLC campaign that came later. People were hoping that Spider-Man 2 was going to do something similar, possibly in a scenario where you were playing as Venom or something along those lines. This pretty much just put the squash on any additional content moving forward for Spider-Man. What we've got now, which is just a bunch of extra suits that they released over time.
And photo mode and New Game Plus.
And photo mode and New Game Plus, which we knew was coming anyway because just about every game needs that as standard. Why they didn't include it to start with is stupid. So those people who were wanting additional content out of this game, you're not going to get it, unfortunately. The hope, though, is that the reason why we're not getting it is because they're now moving full steam ahead with some of their other projects, which is the upcoming Wolverine game and the rumored Venom game as well.
Which sounds more likely, especially Wolverine. They want to all hands on deck. Let's go. Let's get this game out.
Yeah, exactly. So it sucks for people who want more Spider-Man content in Spider-Man 2. Because there was a lot of points where you could have spun things off and done other stories and stuff like that.
Yeah, they added a lot of plot threads at the end of certain side quests.
Yeah, so you're not going to get any of that. But hopefully the upside is they're now probably working full steam ahead on Wolverine and starting to get production done on the rumored Venom game. Which would be awesome, because I want a Venom game. Give me a Venom game.
Venom controlled well is just such a small portion.
Yeah, that Venom section. I love that Venom section.
Yeah.
Hell, I before they patched it, I even did the little trick in the Kraven the Hunter fight where you could escape
go
the city
over the building and you just
jump over the building and just that was fun, man. That was fun. I love that.
Do you know I've not played Spider-Man 2?
I mean, the best part about it coming to PC is there's absolutely going to be a Venom mod.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but I don't want a Venom mod. I want a full-blown Venom game.
Yeah.
And
man,
I'm a massive Venom fan, so
there's people
give me
that
a
might
proper
make
Venom
mod
game.
for it. Have you seen all these games that people have made mods for after the fact?
Yes, I have.
Like a full-blown total conversion?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to get that in-depth, but... there'll probably be a mod that replaces the standard Spider-Man model with Venom or something along those
it'll probably be added as a suit or something. Probably.
Yeah,
it's still good news, even though it is the end of Spider-Man 2 on PlayStation and PC as well. But I do want them to bring out the controllers.
They're about to start on a new storyline for the Spider-Man comics.
Again,
Like I think it's like 7 the seven deaths of Spider-Man or something along those lines.
I'm still trying to figure out the whole. I know we're going to comics. Sorry, the whole whatever that vampire arc was, and their great idea to make Miles.
Oh, Blood Hunt.
Yeah, and now
I read that entire story arc, including tie-ins, and I still had no idea what the was going on.
And I'm like, what's going on here?
Like now that they've kept it in with Miles Morales, where he's now
a vampire.
He's not, because supposedly his venom spark power or whatever it is actually keeping his vampirism at bay. But if he overexerts himself, then he becomes more vampiric. It's weird what they're doing.
There was the latest issue is where Black Panther came in there and he was fighting them, basically trying to help him. So go read that. I don't want to spoil it.
No, and they're actually trying to make Vulture a credible villain for the 800th time.
That's funny. That's funny.
Maybe they'll do it this time.
No.
Venom is outclassed. I'm sorry, the Vulture is outclassed. He needs to stop. Even his granddaughter outclasses him. You just need to stop. He needs to stop.
And don't even get me started on what's going on with Venom at the moment, because that entire series has been
they can't decide what they want to do with Venom.
They screwed that up the second they did King in Black. The second they introduced Null and the trying to rewrite the symbiotic origins and everything. Yeah, and I'm going to get a bit of spoilers for Venom: The Last Dance, but I've noticed in the trailers, Null's in the trailers.
Yes.
So they're going to try and do that type of the King in Black in Venom: The Last Dance.
Yeah,
which is going to everything up again.
The creator of that character is actually pissed at Sony because they didn't ask for permission to put him in there.
Which, Null or Venom?
No.
Yeah. I'm sure that Marvel's got something in their contracts that say, you let us use this character in perpetuity, we can shill him out to whoever the fuck we want, and you don't make $1 off it. It's Disney.
Let's move away from the House of Mouse that I really don't care about, and let's talk about something that's really cool. So during the Xbox partner preview, they showed us a bunch of different games. A lot of the games I could care less about, but there was one game that really caught my attention, and that was Team Bloober's Cronos: The New Dawn. And when I saw this, I think Sean said he also liked what it was. It kind of just like, holy shit, what is this game? We got a guy in this I'll just say is evac suit.
It was a Bioshock looking Big Daddy costume. Man.
Yeah. And when he first came in, you saw him and he's playing chess with his old lady, and then one of them two loses, and then she's like, okay. And he reaches over to which looks like is to kill her. But after you find out a bit about the game, that's not what happened. So in this game, the world suffered another cataclysmic event because it always happens, right?
The world has to end in some of these video games,
right? It's never going to be the world ends in peace. It's not. Something happened.
We never get a happy ending. It's always some sort of apocalyptic scenario.
So this guy is part of an organization that has to find these time rifts because they're just laying there on the ground or something to go back in time and to find key people, key personnel people, key figures, and rip their essence from them, hence the claw that you saw from the guy in the trailer, and take them back to the future. I don't get that, but I don't really care about that too much. What I cared about was the little bit of gameplay that we saw. It was very Dead Space control-ish, with the whole vibes and the supernatural and the room and stuff that's floating in the air. And then you got these creepy creatures that come out of nowhere and you're shooting with a gun. It's interesting. This is like the second original game that came from that developer. The first one being the Medium.
The Medium was the first, yep.
So they did great with Silent Hill 2 Remake. Technical issues aside, they did a great job. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with this one. if anything, they've already got my attention with the vibe.
I really like the designs of the creatures that we got to see too in the trailer. So I'm really excited to see what more they do with it. Because if there's one thing that I really like with Bloober team, it's kind of their designs for creatures and their designs for like layouts of the worlds that they are able to make. That was my favorite thing about the medium, even if the medium itself had its own issues with the story. But like the dual worlds was kind of a really cool feature, as well as like just the monster designs, or mainly just like there's like only like 2 big monster designs in the medium that really caught my eye, but they were really good.
Yeah, the monster designs were very Cronenberg-esque.
Yeah.
Like amalgamations of limbs and faces and everything into it. It's like that's going to be a very interesting game. And after seeing so far what they've done with the Silent Hill 2 remake, Bloober team's cooking.
Yeah,
they're cooking, man. And people need to let them cook.
Stop getting angry at them for everything.
Yeah. Stop going all their past games. Blah, blah, blah,
oh, that's never going to happen.
Companies they're working with.
Sometimes you got to make those bad games to figure out.
Yeah,
the good
sometimes
ones
you have to have a rough game in order to learn from it.
Exactly. And they've
they obviously like software.
Obviously, they've taken that Konami money and they look like they're investing it well into Cronos. So
I'm looking forward to it.
Maybe there's more Silent Hill too in their future.
Oh, mate, come on, give us a Silent Hill 1 remake. Give me a Silent Hill 3 remake and then stop.
Maybe they'll make 4 good.
If they try to remake 4, fuck off. Just give us a remake of 1 and 3 and I'll be happy.
Like I said, I'm looking forward to it. I'm very excited. 2025's got a lot of great games coming out.
Does this mean we're going to have a fight over who reviews it?
No, because it's mine.
Yeah,
mine.
The boss has spoken.
It's mine. So, well, you were at PAX, almost at PAX West. When you were at PAX Australia, you got to see the Steam Deck. Mm-hmm. And there was a website that interviewed Valve regarding the Steam Deck.
That would probably be Press Start.
No, it was another one. It was a I can't remember who it was, so I can't deny it, or maybe it was. But there was a website that talked to Valve about the Steam Deck and the eventual Steam Deck 2 and what their plans are, and what do they want to do with the Steam, the next version of Steam, the next version of the Steam Deck. And basically they said that they're not rushing on the next version of Steam 2, the Steam Deck 2.
Well, no, they've only just started getting ready to launch it over here. Why would they be rushing to get the sequel out?
Well, you got to remember,
you saying that Australia is a dumping ground for the leftover Steam Deck consoles?
Well, the Steam Deck came out in 2022, so it's 2 years old. The last thing they did was give it an OLED screen, but the architecture itself never changed. So the question was, when are we going to get the new version of the Steam Deck, and what can we see? And obviously, there's like nothing. We can't tell you anything.
As the Nintendo Switch 2.
Well, they likened it towards like the ROG Ally, because the ROG Ally, Asus has pretty much said that we're going to get a new version of the system every year. It's going to be
as they can.
Yeah. And Valve is like, we don't want to do that with the Steam Deck 2. We want to make it the best that it can be. I don't know if it's shots fired or anything like that, but they want to wait to see what the hardware is going to be like later on down the road. Is AMD going to have a better Zen? Is it going to be more optimized? Is it better for battery usage? What's going on? But I know a lot of people have been asking them what's up with the Steam Deck 2. And Valve's basically saying, we got nothing for you. You're going to have to wait. We're not releasing one every year. It could be every 2 years, it could be every 3 years. It's whenever they decide to give it to us.
Yeah, Valve as a company is it will be ready when it gets ready.
It is what Blizzard used to be.
Yeah, pretty much.
Soon, trademark.
So they did also say that they're looking at bringing the Steam OS to gaming PCs, the Steam machine, which was the initiative many, many years ago that just fell flat on its face. Also bringing Steam OS to handhelds like the ROG Ally, which is more of a official offering versus something that Bazite does, which I would like to see because it's an official distro. Maybe even bringing Steam OS to the PC and on top of Windows, so it's not just Steam; it's something else.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see what they're going with that. But then again, then they'll be called a monopoly because they're doing all these things.
Monopoly's a good board game.
So recently, Analogue, which has made a bunch of different consoles, the Analogue SG, the Analogue NT, the Pocket, and more recently they announced the Analogue 3D, which is their version of the Nintendo 64 using the Mr. FPGA hardware, which is as close as you can get to the original thing. Announced the Analogue 3D, and it went on sale, pre-sale today. And actually, no, it was just it was today. It was today, and I actually pre-ordered one just because of a multitude of reasons. One, whenever they release a console, they stay sold out.
Yeah.
And then if you ever want them, they're on eBay for an outrageous amount of dollars,
double or triple its normal price.
If you go look for them right now, they're starting at $400 to $500 and going anywhere up to $1,000.
Yeah,
which really sucks because these are great if you want to become a retro gamer and you don't want to go into like getting a retro tink and any other upscaling stuff because it's all built into the console. But if you didn't get the when it came out, they're gone. So the Analogue 3D is a Nintendo 64 with an upscaler, which will let you output your games up to 4K, which Space Magic. We'll have ports for the original Nintendo 64 controllers if you want to use them. There's also a controller from 8-Bit Do. What is it? What else do they have on there? Bluetooth, Wi-Fi. We'll play the original Nintendo 64 cartridges.
Analogue 3D is 100% compatible with every original Nintendo 64 game ever made. It is region free. It's got Bluetooth, dual band Wi-Fi, 4 original style controller ports, entirely new hardware feed with their 3D OS, and engineering entirely FPGA with no emulation.
Yep. So it's basically a work of God.
Yep, I wish I had the money to get one.
I only got it because I know if I ever want to get one later on, it'll be
going to be a small fortune.
Yeah.
So now it's whenever I go to the farmer's market, I need to go and look for Nintendo 64 games and pick them up for cheap while I can.
Start hitting those flea markets, man. You got to get lucky now.
Nope, that's what I'm doing. That's exactly what I'm doing. Picking up some F-Zero. Was it the F-Zero game that was on there? Because F-Zero, yes. Nintendo's. I'm going to pick up Mario 64. Everything, all the good games.
Yep.
Yeah, and you'll find that most of them probably cost a premium.
Well, the people that don't know that.
There's not that many people left, man. There's not that many people left these days that don't know what they've got on those tables.
There's also the EverDrive 64, which should work for this as well. So,
and also international secondhand Japanese is pretty cheap.
And if it's region free, it should play those games as well.
Yep.
So I do wish I could pick up the Analogue NT, which is the Super Nintendo version, but those things are arm and a leg.
Yep. Good luck.
It's ridiculous.
Those you most likely will not find in a farmer's market.
No, unless I get super lucky. No.
But if people are wanting to buy one, they are $250, which, considering how much it would cost to buy a original Nintendo 64 plus the expansion pack plus plus 4 controllers, you're easily spending around that much anyway.
Yep.
So you might as well buy this, and at least you've got a lot more to work with.
And like we mentioned, it does all the upscaling and everything for you. There's no reason to run out and get
I'm curious to see how good the upscaling is, though.
Yeah.
That's my big thing is like, even like people who use the original hardware with, say, like a RetroTink 4K or something, you're not really getting past like 640p in graphic quality. Like, don't expect to plug this thing in and get like a really
Oh, no.
4K upscale, or even a full 1080p image out of it, or something like that. Tamper your expectations now, because the ROMs themselves will only be able to be scaled so much before you start losing quality, and the loss of quality usually comes in at that 640p area. So don't expect miracles out of this. Like, don't expect it to be smooth and upscaled and look like
It'll be a little grainy.
you're not turning Mario 64 into Mario Galaxy here.
Oh, man.
No.
But still, it looks interesting. I'm looking forward to see how it is. Of course, Digital Foundry will get one a handle on, and they'll tell us all about it.
They'll do all the checks and balances and the frames and all that type of stuff. But it's one of those things where I wish that there was more of this that was more widely available.
Yeah.
Like, this is the thing for me as an international, is I can't get a hold of anything that Analogue's done except for maybe the Pocket, because of like power standards and everything being different in my country compared to the US. So I don't even know if it's even going to work properly if I was to get one. And that is cost is prohibitive. Like, a 250 American dollars is somewhere around about 350, nearly 400 Australian without shipping. But I would love to see more of these things. Like, I didn't even know there was a Super Nintendo and a Genesis one until Keith told me. And I would love to see these things done. I'd love to see him do a Nintendo Famicom split system or something like that. And
oh, man.
I would have loved to have got my hands on the Mega Drive, the Genesis, sorry. And especially the Super Nintendo, because I've got Japanese games sitting here that I don't have a converter for.
So far they've done a Nintendo, the NT Mini, Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, and a TurboGrafx 16 CD-ROM. They do it.
Yeah. So,
and of course, the first three are no longer. You can't get them anywhere.
Nope.
Well, you can still get a hold of the TurboGrafx / Neo Geo Duo. They call it. That's still available.
If, like Scott says, if you want that, I mean,
if you want that, there's not that many people. There's not that many people who.
There's not a lot of demand.
There's not a lot of demand for TurboGrafx 16 stuff ever.
I did
maybe if they can do an Atari Jaguar console, then that might be able to sell, but you never know.
The Pocket is nice. I don't see
the Pocket is very nice.
I don't see the market for the Pocket for various reasons, but the fact that it's
the Pocket
hardware.
Is good. The Pocket is good, especially if you buy. They sell an additional like a card slot set that slots into the Pocket, so you could play like your Game Gear stuff and all that into it. I can see that being the reason why you buy a Pocket, is if you want to have sort of an all-in-one for all your old, Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, what they call it, Game Gear, even some of the TurboGrafx stuff works on the Pocket as well. So I can see that being the reason why, but there are other ways to do it. Not all of them legal, or
what's I mean, let's talk about it. We're talking about retro gaming. Let's be honest. A lot of retro gaming isn't exactly legal.
Yeah,
let's be honest. It's
like I could turn around. I could go and grab my PS Vita, which I've jailbroken and put RetroArch on, that I can play pretty much everything up to PlayStation 1 on that console, and still have room for stuff. I've loaded a ton of it on there, and it's a great way to have all my handhelds in one spot. But sometimes you just want something that feels like the original console, without having to buy the original consoles. Because let's face it, Game Boy, like even Game Boy original, Pocket, Color, whatever, they're getting more expensive.
Getting.
They're getting even more expensive. Like, because a lot of people are going out there, they're putting in IPS screens and stuff to, like, they're modifying the crap out
screens,
of them.
modified for a
modified
rechargeable
and
battery.
everything. So, yeah, the original consoles are getting rarer and rarer as people don't want to let go of them anymore. And the older stuff, as it gets older, because of the way technology is developed, a lot of older consoles are starting to hit the point where even repairing them yourself is no longer an option.
No.
Like trying to get some parts for a Nintendo, a Super Nintendo, a Genesis, an original Game Boy, they cost as much as like trying to buy one of these things, because the technology is old. It's getting harder to get a hold of. So that's why I'm loving these analog things, and I wish that they were more widely available than, hey, we're just going to produce a limited run of these and then you're never going to see them again.
Now that I was thinking about all this, and we talked about this before, my Dreamcast, or I gotta swap it out and put the card in. What if they did a Dreamcast?
Oh,
that'd be nice.
Give them all. Just the fact that you're putting in the ability to output HDMI and giving it some upscaling. Please, just give me that. Give me the Dreamcast.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, if they did say like a Saturn or something like that for 250 US. For 250 US, if they did a Saturn that like could play all your games, play region free and all that type of stuff.
Somebody actually did.
I would be all over that, because I'm still trying to get an original Saturn myself, and that thing is, Jesus Christ, expensive.
Really? I don't have mine. Somebody did a Saturn.
Over 500 Australian dollars to get a hold of a Sega Saturn. That's with no games, just console, controller, and cables. If I want games, most of them run $100 plus here, and it is ridiculous. Like even the devices,
Polymega. Sorry, the Polymega.
No, that thing.
Really?
That's all emulation still.
Is it? Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
The Polymega wasn't hardware; it was software.
I know.
But the thing is, what Analogue is doing is the hardware.
Right, they're doing all hardware.
Which is what I would rather see. I would rather see more hardware-based redesigns, repackaging of these type of consoles than relying on software, because software is glitchy. Software isn't always fully compatible, whereas hardware is fully compatible, and it breathes new life into these consoles, brings them alive for another generation. Plus, it also means the old tired consoles, like the 64 and all that we have, they can go and become the collector's items that they're supposed to be, while we can still play the original cartridges on newer hardware.
Yep.
All I know is my son is making me fall deeper and deeper into this hole that I don't want to be in. And he's like, Dad, retro gaming. I'm like,
join me, Keith. Join me.
It's like, what do you mean retro gaming?
I've got $30,000 in credit card debt.
They're not retro.
Interesting. But yeah, I had to get that. I had to. Yeah. My wife's gonna be mad, but
I saw it and I'm like, I wish I want it. I want it. I wish I could afford it.
I'm surprised it hasn't sold.
But unfortunately, PAX has wiped me out.
Yeah, it does that.
Yeah,
it does that. It does that. Oh, God, it does that. Speaking of that,
yeah.
All right. So we were talking about. Excuse me. We were talking about retro consoles, right? So how about we talk about consoles in general? We're talking about PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X and S, and should we even include Nintendo in this conversation? I mean, we really don't need to include Nintendo, because Nintendo will stand the test of time regardless.
Nintendo will be making consoles till the world
Nintendo stands the test of times only because they're going to sue everybody out of the business.
Yeah,
because And
yeah.
anything that does anything, we own a patent on that. Don't you dare copy our patents.
Jeez.
You
And it's
submitted
only-
it last week. We don't care. We've been doing this for years.
It's
I mean,
only in
that
Japan.
does make a
unfortunately.
playable alarm clock. Then
Yeah, right. Because
They invented the alarm clock, Sean. Didn't you
people
know
bought
that?
that thing, man. What-
Yeah.
Again, when they sold people cardboard, I was like, if they can sell people cardboard, they can sell people anything,
Yeah,
and they were successful.
you're not
And
wrong.
people bought the dumb cardboard. So let's talk about this, because this conversation has been making the rounds in a lot of places, and it was like we talked about this a while ago. In fact, one of my dreams is for hardware to go away. I've been saying for a while, just one box and just software. So the question is, how long do you think we have before we start seeing that? With every iteration of a new platform, PlayStation or Xbox, these consoles are getting closer and closer to being PCs. Xbox has been putting the games on PC. Most third-party games are coming to PC. PlayStation is slowly coming around and putting their stuff onto PC. Now, we know we have the PlayStation 5 Pro coming out, and more likely, we're getting the Xbox. Well, seriously, more likely, we're getting another Xbox. I don't know why. That's another conversation for another time. And we're getting a PlayStation 6. But beyond that, do you see where things finally start to change and then go, you know what? There's no reason to put things into a console when we can put things out into a PC. Or maybe there'll be PCs that are completely modular in the sense that they come with this, and you just buy that. And you connect it to your TV, and it's powerful enough to do all the gaming. How long are we? How far are we before we don't see consoles anymore? Are we 15 years, 20 years? What do you guys think?
I don't think we'll ever not see consoles, if only just because there's still a big stigmatism of people who don't want to get to PC, but also because we're so nostalgia based that as soon as we start leaving like PC, like the consoles are going to start becoming more like PCs, there's going to be other people coming in to make more consoles that are going to be for more retro type game experiences. And that's always going to have another issue too, is just in case PlayStation or Xbox do leave the console space for any reason to get to PC, we're going to see another brand jump into the console space.
You think Google will come back?
I don't know if Google will, but we'll see other companies or brands, like say Analogue wants to do their own type of console that plays other retro games. Or we see, I don't know, the KFC decide to show up again for a few years to make their own.
I still want my
type of
KFC
Flash.
console. God damn
Yeah,
it.
where's the KFC console? I want to get a PlayStation that can make my pizza and my chicken.
Damn right.
But
Damn right.
I think that's always going to be a thing with consoles, is that I think like the base itself will start to get smaller, except for Nintendo, obviously. Will probably retain at least 100 million of whatever people are going to show up to that. But even as we see more and more people start to dip, there's always going to be another person or another brand wanting to come into with different ideas of innovation for gaming consoles themselves. Sometimes I feel like it'll probably be more retro based though, just because we have such a huge desire to have games that are more of a tighter and more of a more home-based system. That consoles, I don't think will necessarily go away, but they will definitely have a shift and a change.
You know, as much as I push PC gaming, I don't want to see consoles in terms of the box to go away, because I do think a lot of people just don't, like you said, they have a stigma with PC. If you say you can give them a PlayStation 6 and say this is a PC, and the moment they hear it's a PC, they don't want it.
They go back to the PS5 Pro.
It's like every iteration of these consoles are getting closer and closer to PC, which is amazing, because AMD is like, you know what, we don't care, because we're making the chipsets for every one of these things, and we're winning, with the exception of Nintendo. They are winning. They are winning with the Steam Deck, with the ROG Ally, with the Lenovo Go, with the PlayStation, with the Xbox. They are winning. They are driving this force. And it's going to be up to them on how fast we get to a point where maybe we don't get rid of the consoles, but maybe there's just one console, and we're at the point where a PlayStation 7 and if there's another Xbox offer you the same thing, so there's literally no reason to get them outside of exclusives. And that's where you look at the companies and go, look, if the hardware is literally the same thing, why can't we just give out one box, or maybe AMD makes the box and you guys make the software, and that is it. That was the whole goal of the Steam machines. We give you the software and you go to a manufacturer and they make the hardware and we're done.
Money. We want money.
I hear that. But there's got to get to a point where it's like, hey, look, you're not offering anything
money. We
and
need
then
our profits.
I think this next generation is going to be interesting because if we're going backwards, like the rumors say, and Xbox and PlayStation are both going back to making their own Switches, and we're going to have that and the console.
Anybody who says that, I don't believe that, because they're not thinking. If Xbox comes out and makes a handheld console and another premium console, they're shooting themselves in the foot again.
Yeah, then they're having the same problems they had at the Series S.
Essentially, with consoles, we're not going to see them disappear. We're not going to see them unified into one box, because that would mean that Sony and Microsoft have to play nice with each other, and we know that's never going to happen. Nintendo's going to be sitting in the corner doing their own thing, putting out Marios and Zeldas till the cows come home, and people are going to buy it in the millions. That's fine. They can have that. They have their little corner. Good for them. They're going to outlast everybody.
They will.
The next phase of the console market is going to be 100% digital.
You think
It is going to require you. It is going to require you to have PlayStation Plus or Xbox Game Pass, but you'll also be paying. You'll be paying that straight out the gate. It'll be a requirement. It's no longer going to be optional. It will be a requirement. From there, that gets you access to the console. From there, you can then buy your games. So you'll be paying a subscription to a service to let you have access to buy your games. They will have their little library service like they currently do for the higher tiers, and you may get discounts on your product or whatever. But the next generation, fully digital, it will require subscription service as a base, and then you'll buy your games on top of that. I'm sorry. Let me phrase that. You won't buy your games because you don't buy games anymore.
I mean,
you will buy your license.
There you go.
You will buy your license to get access to play the game that can be revoked at any time because you don't own any games.
I mean, let's be honest. If people ever went back and read the manuals of their games they bought, it tells them also this is a license.
Yeah.
It is a license, but you still had a physical version of the game that they cannot take from you. Whereas now it's going to be 100% digital with the provision in that they can remove this at any time, and you have no rights to refunds or anything like that. The next generation is going to strip away so many consumer rights that it is going to cause lawsuits to happen. And the unfortunate thing is
that should have already happened.
That should already be happening today.
Yeah.
But they won't, because guess what? Nobody wants to be the one to step up first to take on the big companies, because they know that the high-priced lawyers are going to eat them for breakfast. And the governments aren't going to step in, because guess what? They don't like it. They don't like interfering with private business.
They also don't know anything about it.
that as well, because
you have to get our generation in there.
We need to get people.
Even our generation isn't going to be able to get. Even if you put our generation in to government or anything like that, they're not going to change stuff. They're not going to change. Look at all the bluff and bluster of Gen X. They're growing up. Oh, the government, screw this, brother. We're going to rebel. We're going to fix everything. When we're going to get in the power, they got into power, and what they do? Oh, this living that the boomers created is right. We're gonna sit here and we're gonna keep doing what they
did, and we're going to make the money.
We're gonna screw all the generations behind us.
Meanwhile, my generation and onwards are sitting here going, "Can I have some food?" Sorry, tangent, but
I was waiting to get back on
I
track.
do think that
but
we
the
could
thing-
see some of Xbox's strategy actually happen at some point, where the buy anywhere, the play anywhere thing actually takes forward for Sony.
only
as well
only
at
if
some
you
point.
buy the additional license.
Right, you buy that. But I'm saying, like, you buy it here. I want to see what happens if they end up decoupling the cloud from that and going, okay, now we're truly play anywhere. You can buy it here, and you get it.
You think we got games piecemeal before? Wait until we get into the all digital era for consoles. They are gonna piecemeal everything out.
Yeah.
You want online? Oh, you better make sure you pony up for that.
No,
Oh, you want you get
Well,
you
we
get
tried that
you get
before.
you get a bare basic game here for 60,
Everybody
70,
Call
80,
of Duty.
$120 because guess what? The second we go all digital, guess what? Those prices are going to skyrocket.
Yep.
Because there's profit to be made. And what are you going to do? Go to GameStop to buy your games? They're going to be shut down.
Nah, they'll sell you tons of Funko Pops.
Yeah, they're never going anywhere. They got tons of geek culture stuff. They're fine. Have you been to a GameStop lately? Oh my god, it's like Funko Pops.
I
Everything
haven't
turned into a gamer hot topic.
Yeah, I haven't walked. I
Just
haven't
go to
walked
those
into
retro
EB
stores.
Games.
They're a scam.
Yeah.
Like EB Games over here, which is GameStop over there. I haven't actually physically bought a game from there in nearly 3 years. And if I buy, if I don't even really buy most of my stuff physically anymore, I buy it all digitally. So it's that thing of we are very quickly going to hit that point where it's going to become that future that Xbox wanted with the Xbox One, where it's all digital. You can't give your game to your friends because if you want to use your account somewhere else, well, there you better pay for another license. You can't trade your games in anymore because secondhand doesn't exist for digital. And they're gonna subscription services just to turn the console on. Well, then you better make sure you sign up for that PlayStation Plus.
If Sony's gone to the point where they let you trade in your console to them, you don't think they would let you start doing it with the games?
No. No, but that's the thing. That if you trade in your console, you can wipe your account off it. The account still exists.
Right.
Okay, and you transfer it between consoles. That's one thing. But it's all going to be tied into your subscription service. It's all going to be piecemealed and microtransactions, and the prices are going to go up. That's the next phase of console gaming. From there, it all depends on consumer reaction. If the consumers finally say we've had enough and don't buy the all digital consoles, then we might see the thing I've been waiting for, another video game crash.
Man,
but there is enough sheeple out there that will buy anything just because. So, consoles are still going to exist. There's still going to be Xbox. There's still going to be Sony. There's still going to be Nintendo.
There's always going to be Nintendo. There will be
Nintendo's the only.
Nintendo will list. They will live.
When the apocalypse happens, there's going to be Twinkies and Nintendo.
Yeah, Twinkies, cockroaches, and Nintendo games. That's the only things. The cockroaches will be making Nintendo games powered by Twinkies. But don't expect any miracles to happen. Don't expect games to get cheaper. Don't expect games to be anything more than a license that you're paying a subscription for, because that is the future of gaming, and they're going to make sure. Hell, look at Sony right now, the PS5 Pro. Trade in your disc console to get a discount on a discless console that we're selling the disc drive separately. For a console, which is now starting,
or buy it refurbished directly from us.
Yeah, or buy it refurbished directly from them because that way they make all the money. But look at most games. what was it? I saw an image of, I think it's the Mario and Luigi Brotherhood.
The Brothership game.
Brothership.
Yeah, Brothership or whatever it's called. Guess what? You're not getting a physical cartridge. You're getting a download code.
Yeah, that's a lot of special.
That's what's going to start happening. Is if you go to buy physical, all you're going to get is a pretty case with a slip of paper inside that says, "Here's your download code."
And the future just got more depressing. Thanks, folks.
I'm sorry. I'm a realist.
You're depressing.
I'm a realist and I'm a market analyst, so I can
At
see
that point, why even sell it in the store though? Like, what are you?
Well, that's the point.
Yeah.
That's the point,
It reminds me
Sean.
of when you go to like a GameStop or like a Walmart and you
Yeah.
go to the Xbox sessions. They don't have any physical games. They just have little game cards on the side.
But
Would you like to buy Starfield? Well, here's a card that has the game code on it.
Yep, that is exactly what they're wanting to do. Because then, what's the point of you? What's the point of you buying from a retailer like Walmart or GameStop or whatever when you could just get the exact same thing through the store and all the profit goes to the company rather than being split between the.
I still
third-party
think
retailer
that's a
and the
bad
company.
idea just because of what I keep saying about broadband. I mean, that's, again, something that they don't take into account for. A lot of people just don't have decent broadband. And it's getting better, but we're not there. We're not. And then even then, we got to worry about hard drives. And like, if anybody goes up and buys that brand new Xbox with a 2 terabyte hard drive, it's when you can go buy a goddamn hard drive.
It's a 2 terabyte one that they've got. You know, if you want to buy the expansion card for your current Xbox, it's going to cost you the exact same price. That thing's never dropped in price ever.
It has.
Yeah.
It has dropped.
$20.
No, it dropped big time over here. Well, I don't know about over there.
Yeah, they put it on sale a bunch of times. Yeah.
So, yeah,
I mean-
sorry to be the downer who gives the reality check to
No, I
everybody.
mean you're not
But
you're not
it's-
wrong. They are basically putting the PS5 Pro out to see if you can deal with that price, so that when the PS6 comes out and it's $700, you go, I already paid for it once.
700.
You know,
Try 1,000 minimum.
I mean, to be honest, I think they're
try
doing it.
1,000 minimum for the PlayStation.
I think they're
6.
doing it both ways. They're doing it for the price and they're doing it for the tech. I do think that people should probably push back, but they're not going to push back, and they're going to go buy a $700 console.
The god of FOMO controls you all.
$800 if you want to get the stand and the disk drive.
But what's the point of getting the disk drive when all you're going to be doing is getting a piece of paper
Because people that
pretty case
still
anyway.
have physical games,
Because you'll still
in
have
their
limited run
PlayStation 5.
games who are going to continuously try to kind of do that. So they
There'll
do
be
physical
people that
games.
like physical media will be kicking and screaming. until
There's
they're
always
bored.
gonna physical media already has a lot of proactives, people like proactivists trying to get more people to do it. I mean, look at Alan Wake 2. They basically were pushed to actually put a physical game out there.
Yeah. And it's not just the gaming industry, it's the entertainment industry and in general.
Yeah.
There is that big push by the companies. They want you on the streaming service where they control the content.
And that's the
Yeah.
thing that pisses me off. Why did you bring that up? Now you gonna have me go through this about this shit. The fact that here's the problem: we go back to the bandwidth, and you stream, and you cannot get the quality
No,
Full
it's not the
experience.
same.
from a
No.
streaming service that you can get. If
But did you buy the
more.
higher tier of internet, Keith?
Oh my freaking!
Did you buy the
Oh.
higher tier of internet? Did you get yourself on the bigger plan? Did you get yourself did you go out there and spend the thousands of dollars on yourself to upgrade the wiring outside the front of your house so that you can get the
And
big
yet,
connection?
YouTube TV
on the
keeps
multiple
going up
tier?
in price, and guess
Yeah.
what? The quality still sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, not wrong. Not wrong.
Not to mention it could dip in quality whenever, and you can't control that at all.
Whenever there's
Yeah.
congestion, it goes.
Yeah.
It drops to like 144p, 360p, and you're like, "What the hell am I looking at?"
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Did you know if you pay an extra $50 a month, Keith, you could get the higher tier that might get you a little bit of a speed increase.
You
that
can
might
get
get you to get to that 360p.
Or I can pay for the 4K on YouTube TV, but only for certain sports events
Yeah, that do it.
that don't give you any difference of quality in terms of audio. You don't get any Dolby, you don't get any Atmos, you just get plain Jane audio.
No, you want Dolby and you want Atmos? Pay the subscription fee.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist. The technology doesn't exist. What?
But you can pay a subscription fee that makes it put the logo on the screen that says you got Dolby Atmos.
Oh, that placebo effect, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
That doesn't work for people.
Because
like
guess
me.
what? Because guess what? You're not going to be able to get the sports event you want on a Blu-ray disc or a 4K disc. You're not getting movies are starting to disappear from 4K and Blu-ray and DVD.
And I think
because a lot of companies don't want to spend that extra money to put that stuff out there when they can get more money by pushing you to their streaming service.
And see, that's where it's going to get to a point where there's going to be a push, because listen, if you remove that, then you're also hurting hardware companies that make this hardware that has all this great technology that uses physical media, and then all of a sudden, everything is streamed. We don't need this anymore, and then they go, "Well, wait, what the hell? Whoa, time out. We invest."
When was the last time? When was the last time a company produced a VCR or a Betamax and then complained that nobody was buying it?
I mean, how many stores have Blu-ray players just sitting that no one buys?
Phasing out of technology is a constant cycle, Keith. You know this more than anybody.
No. See, but that's the thing. I'm debating that, because how many people go to the store and buy AV receivers?
Not many.
That's because TV. That's because
AV receivers are still being made. More and more new technologies. Yeah, those are big deals.
Yeah. Well, all I know is I can't get anything that Disney has put out in the last 5 years, because Disney turned around and said, "Oh, there's enough Australians getting Disney Plus that we're going to stop production of DVDs and Blu-rays in that country," and we're not the only one.
Well, and then they gave Sony the rights to their
Sony's got the rights to other shit.
And Sony don't even put their own stuff out on physical anymore.
Yeah, they do.
Not as much as they used to.
They don't have much. First of all,
there are more and more movies and TV shows that are not being produced on physical media, because the uptake of streaming services has made that market not worth pursuing anymore.
And as I mentioned, I guarantee I will bet you $100. Give it a couple years. There's going to be a push, and it's going to be, wait, we can't do this. We can't keep
for every person that says no, there's 1,000 people saying yes.
True, that is true.
Do you have enough people say no though?
That one person that says no, the company doesn't give a shit about. Oh no, we don't get their $20 that we're going to increase to $30 next week a month.
We'll see.
We have 1,000 people over here that are paying that price increase.
Well, with that logic, we should have been already going.
Yeah, I mean, we have enough people that were pushed enough that we got Arcane on a disc now. So by that, we don't need 4K TVs, because most streaming services don't give us 4K TVs. We don't need 8K TVs because nobody offers that in the first place. Nobody has 8K.
And we'll get to that point to offer that. The bit rate will not get there.
No.
Not unless you buy the streaming service account that does that level. But you have to remember that you also have to go out and buy the specialized 8K cable that is done by Sony, and Sony only by proprietary technology to make sure that it does that.
So to do that, let's be real. To do that, we as in the company to upgrade our entire infrastructure, we need to go change the lines from our infrastructure to your house. How many thousands of miles? We need to do that. We need to upgrade all our routers. We need to change everything to fiber, because we can't do that over copper.
Nope.
That's not going to work. They're going to go,
But that's
We're
not,
not
the,
doing
but
that.
But that's not the company's deal. That's you as a consumer now have to do that.
No, that is with
That's
No,
gonna be a
the only
company
way that
problem.
happens is the
ISP.
government has to step in and do it.
the
Yeah.
ISP.
Again,
Gonna go,
again,
"No, we're not doing
again,
that."
I will speak from a place of experience. My country has done a changeover to fiber. Okay, there has been a national rollout that has been taking 20 years to convert everything to fiber.
We still have
you
DSL.
know where the fiber stops? At a box across the street from my house.
Oh,
Oh man.
They will do the fiber infrastructure all over the place, but that final connection from those fiber lines to my house is my responsibility and my cost to bear.
Well, we don't have that here.
Unless you can strike a deal, which
We
I
don't
did.
have that here. Unfortunately, they have to bring the fiber into our house. But the problem that we have over
They
here,
don't have to do. They have to do the infrastructure. They have to put the infrastructure in. The final connection is going to be customer responsibility.
Well, that's pretty shitty over there. But over here, they have to bring it in. They have to bring it in. But the problem that we have
There's
is
no laws in the US saying that they have to do that. It will be infrastructure.
no,
It's
they
not a
have,
law; it's a
stops
regulation.
it's
from
a
companies.
regulation. They have
It's
to
because
do it.
we have so many different
And how many
ISPs
companies
that
over
enforce
there actually follow the regulations?
All of them, unless they want to get
All of them
sued.
have to, unless they lose their license to sell.
No, Carl, I'm telling you,
Oh,
man, they
fuck
have
No,
to
they
do it.
do. They do.
Millions
Every
of
house
them.
that has files in its location has to have the box brought into their home. New homes that are built, they ask what they wanted.
Yes. Okay.
When I
new
moved
homes,
into this
yes.
house that did not have files, when I moved in and I asked, I want files, they said, "Where do you want us to put the box?" They have
Yes,
to
that-
bring
that
it
is-
into
that
the
is-
house.
Yes, that is part of what these need to run the infrastructure. But the final connection from where they run the infrastructure along the streets into the home.
No, that's done by the ISP.
Well, then you got
Well,
lucky
yeah,
on that
but
waiting.
I think what he means is you have to decide the company that's going to be the one that actually connects to the
Yeah.
box and says,
So
"Here,
in other words, you've struck a
here's the
deal with the
internet."
company to
Yeah.
that will be included in your subscription cost or whatever that you pay to the ISP that will then cover the installation of that.
Well, that's what I was trying to get to. So we
Yes.
we have an issue.
we recently got that here.
We have an
recently.
issue in this country where there are certain places that can't do that. Great example
Yep.
is we have Xfinity, Comcast, we have
Mhm.
Files, we have and a bunch of other places. And depending on where you live, maybe Files is the only people who can come in, or maybe
Yep.
Comcast is the only people who can come in this area. There are regulations that state only you can come here, there. And there are
Okay.
some places
Now
that go.
that I'll agree.
And then we
That's
also
not
have
fair.
places
That's
that
not
go,
right.
well, we can't come to you, but you can get DSL and or satellite.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we have that we have that type of thing here as well. We do have
Or
satellite
what
for-
is it,
for remote
Starlink or
regions.
whatever now?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
because isn't that another Elon thing?
That's an Elon thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But thankfully, we do have cell phone providers getting into the game, and I actually used T-Mobile's 4G, 5G home home internet service at my
Yeah.
mom's house when we were getting the house ready to sell it, and it was great. Had
When are we getting 6G? Actually, this is the other question while we're still in this. And I know we've gone like way off topic.
Woo.
Have you guys had your 3G network shut down yet?
Not yet, I don't think.
Not yet.
No.
But
Okay.
Mine only goes to
Because-
4G and then it just.
I know my
Yeah.
phone
Nothing
doesn't
after
do
that.
3G.
We
But I know that
we
there's
still
3G
had
networks
the
around.
2G/3G network here in Australia. I think we've only got it for about another week.
we still
And then
have
they're shutting that network down completely.
we still have companies when you have
So-
4G service that when you hit your limit, they back you down to 3G.
Yeah, they back you to
Okay.
3G.
So your 3G infrastructure is still available.
Yeah.
because ours is getting shut down, I believe, at the end of the month. So you'll only have 4G and 5G signals available.
And the 5G
is-
ain't that damn good, to be honest.
No,
Yeah.
5G is terrible. They kept
it's
telling us
not
during
that
COVID
good.
if we got the shot we get 5G. My signal hasn't picked up at all.
You listen to those morons.
I'm not nearly
Anyway,
as fast as I should be.
anyway,
No, I've gotten slower.
anything else you got to say before we bounce out of here? Because we have definitely gone over the limit.
Stay angry, my friends. It's the only way you get through life.
But if you
But
stay,
don't get so angry
media.
that puts your blood pressure up too high.
I was going to say, if you stay salty, then you got to worry about your blood pressure.
Yeah, but if you stay angry, it puts up your blood pressure too.
Because you're being salty.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing.
So you got to cut down your salts and your sugars and your fats and your. Actually, let's not get into.
You just got to move out of the United States then.
I'm not in the United States. I'm in Australia and I still get all that crap.
You're just up as we are. So move to a place that's nice. Move to a place where you can just smoke weed and relax by the ocean and all that fun stuff.
Oh, go to Jamaica, man. Actually, no, if I go over there, I'd probably get stabbed. But
all right, folks. So we are done. We are done. Thank you for checking out episode 169 of the Spectator Mode Podcast. As always, you can find our great content, which is video game news, reviews, anime, manga, TV, films, and all that cool stuff over at theouterhaven.net. Also can find us over at Amazon Podcast, Spotify, Buzzsprout, Google Podcast, which is now YouTube Podcast, and Apple Podcast. If you listen to us over Apple Podcast, do us a big favor, leave a review and or rating. It helps us climb so more people can hear our show. And you can find me over at BlueSky at Shadow Haxer. No more Twitter for me. I'm done. But where can they find the rest of you fine folks?
The Mase thing. Put it in the Google. I'm that. That's me. Except for Twitch. It's the Mase thing too. Also, PlayStation have just announced that Lego Horizons Adventures has gone gold.
Hooray!
Yep.
Nobody cares.
And nobody gives a shit.
Nobody
So
cares.
yes. So if you go on anywhere, Facebook, Twitter, BlueSky, Threads, Instagram,
Threads.
YouTube, anywhere, the Mase thing. That's me. I'm on my tacos.
Anybody else going to shout you out?
You can find me basically everywhere with Sid Scott.
And you, Sean.
Can find me on BlueSky, W2 Sean. Still on the Bad Place app as well, but trying not to be there very much.
Yeah, screw that place. All right, folks, thanks for checking us out. As always, we love that you watched our show. And if you watched it on YouTube, do us a big favor, leave a comment or a like, and maybe subscribe to the channel. All right. Thank you for watching and are listening, and we will see you on the next chaotic adventure.